Hi friends, welcome back to ARC Tutorials. Today we are bringing you top interview question and answers on Protractor framework. So if you have worked with any modern application, you would have used definitely Protractor, especially with Angular applications. So today we are going to cover all the top interview question and answers that can be asked on Protractor. If you have any doubts or queries, drop them in the comment section. I'll be happy to help you for free. Also, please subscribe to my channel to keep supporting and encouraging me. Thank you so much. Let's get started. So the first question is, what is Protractor? Explain your experience. So that is how the question usually starts. What is Protractor? What do you know about it? So Protractor is an end-to-end test framework for Angular and Angular applications. Protractor runs tests against your application running in real browser interacting with the user. Protractor is a Node.js port of the Webdriver.io, which is the JavaScript implementation of Selenium framework. Protractor is a Node.js program that supports test frameworks like Jasmine, Mocha, Cucumber. The next question is, what are the prerequisites required to run Protractor? So to run Protractor, we need to have Selenium WebDriver and Node.js. We can also download the Protractor package from npm by saying npm install Protractor. Alright, so how Protractor, Selenium Server, and Selenium WebDriver work together. So Protractor is an end-to-end test framework for Angularjs applications. Protractor is a Node.js program that supports the Jasmine and Mocha test frameworks. Selenium is a browser automation framework. Selenium includes the Selenium Server, the WebDriver APIs, and WebDriver browser drivers. Protractor works in conjunction with Selenium to provide an automated test infrastructure that can simulate users' interaction with the Angular application running in the browser. So remember the difference between each of it, Protractor, Selenium, and Selenium WebDriver. So why do you have to choose Protractor when testing an Angular application? That's a question that's often asked, or the other way of asking this question is, explain your experience with Protractor on Angular.js. So there is no rule that we must use Protractor when UI is built with Angular, but it definitely helps since it has easier and built-in modules to support the testing for Angular application. It has automatic waiting for elements, so you can access specific Angular elements by model and by binding. It also implements the page objects in the framework, making tests more maintainable. All right. So the next question is, list some of the features of Protractor. So some of the Protractor features are Protractor is a wrapper around WebDriver.js and supports behavioral driven development. That's what they want to hear. Protractor works in conjunction with Selenium. It offers some other new locator strategies that helps in automating the testing the AngularJS applications. Protractor makes use of Selenium Grid to run multiple browsers at once. Protractor handles the HTTP and timeout synchronization issues that come out of Angular. AngularJS code is written in JavaScript TypeScript, and Protractor natively supports both languages, and hence it makes it easy to work with Angular applications. Can Protractor be used for testing non-AngularJS applications? This is another question they ask you to see your understanding. So the answer is yes, we can use Protractor to test non-AngularJS applications also. What are the test frameworks supported by Protractor? So here they are trying to understand what other BDD frameworks you have used with Protractor. So what you should mention is Protractor supports multiple behavioral driven development suites like Jasmine, Mocha, and even Cucumber. So what is Jasmine framework? So Jasmine is an open source testing framework for JavaScript. It aims to run on any JavaScript enabled platform. It doesn't require a DOM, and it has a clean, obvious syntax so that we can easily write tests. Now, what is Mocha? Mocha is a JavaScript test framework for Node.js programs, featuring browser support, asynchronous testing, test coverage reports, and using a lot of assertions that are provided in the assertion library. Now, what is TypeScript? So, TypeScript is a superset of JavaScript compiled to JavaScript. TypeScript is a strongly typed object-oriented compiled language developed and maintained by Microsoft. TypeScript may be used to develop JavaScript applications for both client-side as well as server-side using Node.js. Now, what is a conf file in Protractor? The configuration file tells Protractor how to set up the Selenium server, which is used to run the tests, set up how the browsers, and which test frameworks to use. The configuration file can also include one or more global settings. Default settings include the standalone Selenium server, the Chrome browser, and Jasmine test framework. What is a spec file in Protractor? So spec file is the one where we write actual test codes. It contains the logic and locators to interact with an application. How to exclude a spec file in Protractor? So you can exclude by adding them in your exclude tag in your conf.js file. You can also add patterns to exclude many test scripts with similar names. Sometimes we face a situation of running only few tests out of all. So we can just exclude it as exclude mytest.js. This is an important question, friends. I want to revisit and tell you the importance. They will definitely ask you, how do you run only few specific tests? How do you exclude them? So go through this question very well. They are bound to ask you. What are locators in Protractor? What are some of the locators in Protractors? So Protractor supports all the element location strategies given by Selenium, and it also has unique set of locators. Some of the locators provided by Selenium are by class name, by CSS, by ID, by linked text, by name, by tag name, etc. Angular specific locators are dot binding, dot exact binding, dot model, dot repeater, dot exact repeater, dot options, and some other are button text, deep CSS, CSS containing text, etc. So in the interview, they are going to ask you few. So make sure you talk about some of them. How do you use them? All right, so that brings us to the end of this tutorial on Protractor testing top interview questions. Make sure you have gone through this list and interview questions again. Feel free to let me know if there are any doubts or queries. I'll be really happy to help you. And also, before you leave, please subscribe to my channel to keep supporting and encouraging me. Thank you so much for joining today. I'll see you in other episodes soon. Bye. Take care.